Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 10-2 Viking girls are getting ready to do battle in the Dun-St. Croix Conference as they take on the 0-11 Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Hilltoppers and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Sarar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Glenwood City High School, where we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's girls basketball game as the Colfax Vikings prepare to battle with the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The 10-2 Vikings, who are 5-1 in the Dun-St. Croix Conference, are looking to stay amongst the leaders in the conference race and to keep the winning going following Tuesday's 60-27 domination over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now, in that win over the Wolves, the Vikings used their quickness and tough defense to lead the way. The Vikings especially demonstrated that tough defense in the first half by allowing the Wolves to score only 3 points, and those were made from the free throw line. Now, leading the way for the Vikings was the performance of 5'7" junior McKenna Shipman, who hit on 10 of 18 field goals, 5 of which were three-pointers, and went 1 for 2 from the free throw line for 26 points. 5'7" sophomore Autumn Nigaman followed by going 4 for 6 from the floor and 3 for 4 from the charity stripe for a season-high 11 points. Meanwhile, Kaysen Goodell and Jeanette Hajdukovic contributed 7 and 6 points, respectively. On the boards, the Vikings were led by Shipman, who grabbed 9 rebounds, while Hajdukovic and Jada Anderson each pulled down 4. So far on the season, the Vikings are led in scoring by Shipman, who's scoring at nearly 18 points per game. She's followed by Hajdukovic, who's averaging 6 points per game, and Ainsley Olsen, who adds over 5. Leading the way on the boards this season is Shipman, who's averaging 8 rebounds per game, while Hajdukovic and Olsen are each pulling down over 5 rebounds per game. The Glenwood City Hilltoppers are currently 0-11 on the season and 0-6 in the Dun-St. Croix Conference. The Hilltoppers last saw action on Tuesday when they were defeated 53-34 by the Boyceville Bulldogs. The Hilltoppers have been struggling at scoring this season, where in 3 of their 11 losses, they failed to score over 20 points, including a 65-9 loss to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. We have very little information about the Hilltoppers, but based on what we do have, look for sophomores Isabel Davis and Jenna McCarthy, along with senior Ariana DeSmith, to lead the way in scoring. Thus far on the season, the Hilltoppers are scoring an average of only 26 points per game, while giving up 64. On the other hand, the Vikings are averaging 51 points per game, while giving up 39. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Sarar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, on Tuesday, the Vikings pretty much dominated the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 60-27. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I thought we played really well. I thought defensively we were very good in the first half. We kind of got a little, lackadaisical in the second half. I think we just kind of eased up a little bit. But, that I thought the girls did a great job defending. And when we defend like that, I think, we can stop a lot of people from scoring. So I was impressed with that. And I know, Kenna hit a lot of shots, but I was also happy with, how we moved the ball and distributed the ball. And I thought we got a lot of good looks at the basket.
Now, as you mentioned, the Viking defense was really impressive in that first half in that they only allowed the Wolves to score 3 points. I don't remember a game where I've seen the Vikings hold somebody to only 3 points and a half. And those were from the free throw line. The Wolves had no field goals in the first half. Now, sometimes when you run into a game like that, it becomes a tough job for a coach because you don't want to run up the score and embarrass your opponent, yet you don't want the players to back off and get sloppy. Your comments about how you deal with that kind of situation?
Yeah, I try not to worry about, what the other team is doing and just say, we need to play our style of basketball and whatever that is. If, a lot of times I'll use it as an opportunity to work on some different things or plays or whatnot. So, but again, regardless of who we're playing, we always have to worry about what we're doing and play our game. You can't worry about what the other team is doing.
Now, some of the younger players had some really good performances on Tuesdays. The two that come to mind right away are the Bovey girls, JC and Jordan. Can you comment about how the younger players are coming along and continuing that saying in Colfax that we don't rebuild, we reload? Yeah,
I think, we've had a lot of older kids set some great examples and, the better the younger kids get, the more they, challenge the, older girls to continue to work on their game. Because, we make it clear from the beginning that the best players play and it doesn't matter age or, anything like that. If, you deserve to be on the floor, you're going to be on the floor. So I think it helps us as a group, just, everybody can play. So in practice, we're always challenging each other, which is good to see.
Now, today, the Vikings will continue in the Dun St. Croix action when they take on the winless Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Now, I've had a hard time finding out any information about the Hilltoppers, so what can you tell us about Glenwood City and any challenges that they present?
Yeah, I think they've gone through some struggles. I'm not going to lie. In the past couple of years, I've seen them play a couple times, and as long as we play our, game of basketball, I'm not worried. I just want to make sure that we go in there and, continue to play at a high level. Sometimes when you play teams who, haven't won or, things like that are struggling, you can kind of bring your game down. And, we have lots of big games coming up, and I don't want us to take a step backwards. So I'm just hoping, we can go in there and play hard and continue to do what we're trying to do.
So the way I hear what you're saying is that there's an old adage that you play to the level of your opponent, and you don't want that to happen tonight. You want the Vikings to play to Viking level.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Coach Serrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can stay right on the winning track and stay right in the thick of the conference race.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The 10-2 Vikings are looking to continue to challenge for the lead in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. Meanwhile, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers are looking to put together a complete game in an attempt to notch their first victory of the season. Now, these two teams met twice last year, with the Vikings sweeping the series. In fact, the Hilltoppers last defeated the Vikings when they swept the season series way back in 2015-2016. The Vikings currently hold a 12-game winning streak over the Hilltoppers, and the Hilltoppers would like nothing better than to break that streak. So the stage is set for some exciting high school girls basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So in just a moment, we'll send it out to Glenwood City High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the action of tonight's girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
And the long pass down and in by Hajdukovic.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Long pass down the floor to Olsen. She stops, puts it up, she hit it!
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Let's gets it over to the left side to Shipman, three-pointer. She hit it! McKenna Shipman with the three puts the Vikings on top, 3-2. And good evening, and welcome to Glenwood City High School. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you all the action of the Colfax Vikings taking on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Vikings come into today's game with a record of 10 wins and 2 losses, whereas the Hilltoppers are struggling this year. They are 0-12. So Dan, no matter how you do it, you still have to put 5 girls on the floor at a time for each team. Why don't you tell us who those are going to be?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Hilltoppers. They're going to go with freshman number 4, Opal Volts. Junior number 5, Libby Wagner. Junior number 12, Michaela Blazer. Sophomore number 24, Jenna McCarthy. And sophomore number 52, Isabel Davis. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with 5'6" senior number 10, Molly Heidorn. 5'9" senior number 14, Ainsley Olson. 5'7" junior, number 32, Jada Anderson. 5'10" junior, number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic. And 5'7" junior, number 42, McKenna Shipman.
Okay, so that's who we're going to see out on the floor tonight for the Vikings and the Hilltoppers. Leading the way for the Vikings so far this season in scoring is McKenna Shipman. She's putting up about 17.5 points per game. Jeanette Hajdukovic follows her at almost 6 points per game, whereas Ainsley Olsen is just over 5 points per game. Leading rebounder for the Vikings is Shipman. She's pulling down just about 8 boards per game. And Hajdukovic about 5.5, and Olsen at just over 5 boards per game. Vikings are coming off a dominating victory over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And I guess I should mention those same Elmwood Plum City Wolves defeated the Glenwood City Hilltoppers a little earlier this season by a score of 65-9. That gives you an idea of what kind of a season the Hilltoppers have had. They've got at least 3 games this year where they haven't managed to score over 20 points. So offense has really been a tough task for them. We'll see if they can figure something out tonight. Why don't we take a brief timeout as the teams are getting ready, and we'll have the starting lineups and national anthem right after this timeout. You're watching Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Back here at Glenwood City High School, as we're getting ready to bring you tonight's action between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. And we're going to have the national anthem coming up in about 10 seconds. And then we'll have the starting lineups as delivered by the scores table. So let's send it down to the scores table for the national anthem.
Good evening. On behalf of the school district of Glenwood City and Colfax High School, welcome to tonight's game featuring the Vikings of Colfax and your Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Please turn your attention to the Glenwood City Senior Workwomen Press as she reads the sportsmanship address.
The WIAA, the Dunn St. Croix Conference, Glenwood City High School, and Colfax High School require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans at education-based interscholastic events. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments or other intimidating or taunting actions or chants will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please enjoy the game in a positive manner.
Please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem of Glenwood City Junior, Haley Ham.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
And now for tonight's starting lineup. First for the Vikings, under the coaching of head coach, we have number 10, a senior, Molly Hydorn. Number 14, a senior, Ainsley Olson. Number 32, a junior, Dana Anderson. Number 40, a junior, Annette Eichel-Kovich. And number 42, a junior, McKenna Shipman. And now for your Hilltoppers, a freshman, number 4, Opal Volz. A junior, number 5, Libby Wagner. A junior, number 12, Michaela Blaser. A sophomore, number 24, Jenna McCarthy. And a sophomore, number 52, Isabel Davis. Your Hilltoppers are coached by Christy Conquer and assisted by Samantha Schreiber.
So there's the starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, Opal Volz, Libby Wagner, Michaela Blaser, Jenna McCarthy, and Isabel Davis. For the Vikings, it's the usual 5: Hydorn, Olson, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. Olson steps into the center circle for the Vikings, and she's going to be facing off against Isabel Davis, sophomore for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Vikings will be going from left to right. Ball goes up. The ball gets tipped by Glenwood City. With the ball is McCarthy. Gets it over to Davis. Back out high to Wagner. Drives it towards the lane. Shot goes up. No good. That shot was by McCarthy. Ball's loose on the floor. Picked up by Wagner. Over to the right side to Davis. Back out high to Wagner. Wagner over to Blaser. On the left side. Looking for somewhere to go. Trying to get it figured out. Gets it back over to Wagner. Wagner lays it up. No good. Rebound. Putback shot. No. Volz with it. Gets it out to Wagner. Another shot. No good. Shipman gets the rebound for the Vikings, and the Vikings come down the floor. Hydorn gets it over to Hajdukovic, to Shipman. They're on the left side, feeding it to Hajdukovic under the lane, puts it up. No, does not go. Hajdukovic gets the board, gets it out to Olson, puts up a 3. She hit the 3 to start things off. Ainsley Olson with a 3-pointer. Puts the Vikings on top, 3-0. Down the floor come the Hilltoppers. This is McCarthy with it. Gets it over on the left side. That's Volz. Trying to figure out where she wants to go with it. Takes it towards the lane. Ball gets knocked loose, picked up by Davis. Over to Wagner on the right side to Davis down along the baseline. Puts it up off the side of the backboard. Picked up by Shipman, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds off the Hilltoppers, and the Vikings will have it. Anderson to inbound. Gets it to Hydorn. Hydorn across the timeline. Gets it over to Olson at the top of the key. Feeds it back to Hydorn on the give and go. Doesn't go, though. Hydorn got fouled on the way in. And the foul's going to be on Jenna McCarthy for the Hilltoppers. That's going to send Molly Hydorn to the line for 2. First shot on the way. It's good. And Hydorn's second shot. It's up. And it's good. Vikings up 5-0. Pretty much just underway here from Glenwood City. Inbound pass to McCarthy. And they feed it over to the left side to Davis. Puts it up and it's blocked by Hajdukovic. She blocked it out of bounds, but it was a nice block that she got. So the Hilltoppers to inbound. McCarthy looking for somewhere to go. Gets it over to Volz. Volz on the left side. Takes it out high. Gets it over to Blaser. Then over to McCarthy on the right side. To Davis at the top of the key. Now it's Wagner. Over to Blazer on the right. Free throw line extended to the right. She drives down towards the corner. Gets it back out to Wagner, and we're going to get a jump ball called. She was tied up by Anderson. And possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. So Hydorn on the dribble. Right through the center circle and through the GC. She takes it over to the right side. Back out to Anderson. Three-pointer. Missed everything. And out of bounds. It'll be Glenwood City's ball. Vikings putting on full court pressure. They get it in to Wagner. Wagner loses control but gets it back. Being hounded by Hydorn. She gets it over to Volt, still in the backcourt. Over at 10-second violation. No, timeout called. Timeout called by the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Vikings on top, 5-0, 15-17 to go, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
We're back here at Glenwood City. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, and the Hilltoppers to inbound the ball. McCarthy to get it in. She gets it into Wagner, brings it across the timeline. Vikings on top, 5-0. They get it to Volts on the left side, back out high to Wagner. Over on the right side now to Blazer. Blazer double teamed over there, in trouble, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Anderson. She got her on the arm. First foul on Anderson, first team foul on the Vikings. McCarthy has it, now out high to Wagner between the circles. Over to the left side to Foltz. Foltz looking for somewhere, tries to get it into Davis. Ball gets knocked away by Hajdukovic. And to Hydorn, and down the floor come the Vikings. Vikings get it down into the corner to Anderson on the left side. Out to Olson. Then over to Shipman at the top of the key. Puts up the three-pointer from there, and she hit it! McKenna Shipman with the three. Put the Vikings on top, 8-0. McCarthy with it. Gets it to Wagner. She's at the top of the key. Takes it into the lane. Ball gets tied up by Anderson. Jump ball. It'll be Hilltoppers' ball. Libby Wagner to inbound. She gets it into Blazer, then into the lane to Davis. Davis on the dribble, loses the handle. Shipman grabs it, gets it up to Nigaman, who's in the game now, and over to Bovey. Then to Goodell. Goodell lays it up and good, coming in on the right baseline. 10-0, Vikings on top. Wagner with it. Gets it over to McCarthy, or check that, that's Blazer. Then to Volts, then to Wagner, into the lane. Ball gets kicked away. Ball's loose on the floor. Goodell grabs it, as does McCarthy. We have a jump ball called. And they're discussing possession.
Should be red. It should be Colfax ball.
And that's what they're doing. Now they're switching it.
Unless it was a foul.
No, it wasn't a foul.
Yeah, it should be Colfax's.
It should be Colfax's ball, I believe. Because Glenwood City had the one down under the basket. Yeah, they're checking with the benches. Glenwood City just had the ball under the basket, so it should be. They're not going to change it. They're going to give it to Glenwood City. Well, even zebras make mistakes once in a while. They lost count. Glenwood City with the ball. Blazer has it, takes it over to the right side, tries to feed it underneath to Oman, and the pass gets intercepted by the Vikings. Shipman lays it up and in. 12-0, Vikings on top. 13:23 to go. Down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Wagner with it. She gets it over to Blazer. Blazer takes it back out to the top of the key to Volts, then to Oman. Then the ball's loose on the floor, picked up by the Vikings, and the pass is intercepted. They get it to Davis. She finally puts one through for the Hilltoppers. Isabel Davis gets the first points for the Hilltoppers. 12-2, Vikings by 10. Bovey with it. Takes it over to the right side. Feeds down underneath the Shipman, lays it up and in. McKenna Shipman with the layup. 14-2. And the Hilltoppers have it. This is Wagner, but the ball she got her pocket picked by Goodell. Goodell stops, feeds it over to Hajdukovic, and Hajdukovic laid it up and in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with the 2. Blazer gets it over to Wagner, takes it into the lane, puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound being fought for on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball. This one better go to Colfax. The one referee was signaling that way.
Gave a little chuckle to everybody.
He is. So down the floor come the Vikings. Goodell has it on the right side, out high to Bovey at the top of the key. She gets it over to the left side to Anderson. Anderson bounced past to Nigaman at the elbow, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Hilltoppers. Down the floor, Volts lost the handle, went out of bounds, but it was last touched by the Vikings. I think Goodell got a hand in there and knocked it away. So Blazer to inbound for the Hilltoppers. High pass out to Davis. Davis over to the left side, and the ball goes out of bounds. Brooklyn Bright couldn't quite corral the pass. So the Vikings will have it. Jana Bovey bringing the ball down the floor. Or J.C. Bovey, I should say. Over on the left side, Anderson with a 3 off the iron, no good. The rebound is taken down by Oman for the Hilltoppers. She brings it down, gets it over to Bright. Then over to Blazer. Over to the right side to Davis. Back out high to Volts. Now they swing it around to the left side. That's Bright. Then out to Oman. Now they swing it around, and the ball goes off the hands of Blazer and out of bounds. J.C. Bovey brings it across the timeline at the top of the key, feeds it over to Goodell on the right side. Back out to Bovey. Thought about the 3. Gets it over to Anderson on the left. To Olsen in the middle. She gets it back out. Then they get it over to Goodell. Shot's no good. And the Hilltoppers come down the floor. They've got Oman in the corner. Out to Volts. Then to Bright. The shot's no good. Shot back up by Davis is no good. Nigaman on the rebound, and it's a jump ball called. So it'll be Blazer to inbound the ball for the Hilltoppers. She gets it into Davis. Olsen gets in their face, and the Vikings take it away. Goodell down the floor. Bounce pass to Anderson, who puts it up and in. And down the floor come the Vikings. 18-2, Vikings on top. Hilltoppers Get it over to the left side. This is Omen. And then back out high to Blazer. Blazer on the right. Tries to feed it further over onto the right side to Bright, but it's intercepted by Nigaman. Getting it over to Bovey. Bovey straight down the lane, tries to go up and got fouled on the way in. So the foul is going to be called on Michaela Blazer. And the shot goes up and rolls off the iron. Have some substitutes coming in. Into the lineup for the Hilltoppers is Libby Wagner. She's back in. Hajdukovic and I think it was Shipman come in for the Vikings. Second shot's up, no good. Olsen with the rebound. Gets it to Shipman. Then to Anderson, who lays it up and in from underneath. 20-2, Vikings up by 18. 9:40 to go in the first half. They feed it down to Davis, and it's too high for her, and it'll be Viking ball. Hydorn into the lineup for the Vikings, giving Bovey a break. Hydorn feeds it over to the right side to Anderson, back out high to Hydorn. Hydorn to Shipman in the lane, back out to Anderson. She launches a three, no! Rebound by Davis. Hilltoppers feed it down to the right corner to Bright. She's tied up down there by Hydorn. Feeding it down underneath to Davis, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds. And it was a timeout called by Glenwood City. So 9:05 to go in the first half. Vikings 20, Glenwood City 2. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Back here at Glenwood City High School, the Hilltoppers have the ball. They're going to inbound it under their own basket. McCarthy to inbound, gets it out to Davis. Over to Oman, and then into Wagner. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Down the floor come the Vikings. Hydorn brings it through the center circle. Over to Shipman on the left, back out high to Hydorn. Over to Anderson on the right, cross-court pass to Olsen, three-pointer on the way. She hit it! Ainsley Olsen with another three-pointer. 23-2, Vikings on top. Hilltoppers with it. Wagner has the ball. They feed it down, intercepted by Hajdukovic. And the foul was called on Michaela Blazer, and the Hilltoppers thought they were getting the ball, but that wasn't going to work.
Isabel.
Yes. Oh, that's who it was, Isabel Davis. They were a little slow on the scoreboard putting it up. Shot, three-pointer by Hydorn is up and good.
She has 5 points here in the first half.
Down the floor comes Wagner. She feeds it over to the right side to Blazer. Back out high, this is Caress into the lineup for the Hilltoppers. She gets it over to McCarthy. McCarthy between the circles, ball gets knocked away. Vikings have it. Olsen feeds it down to Shipman, but just a little bit out of reach. So the Hilltoppers come back down the floor. Wagner on the dribble. She's high, wide, and left. Gets it out between the circles to McCarthy. Then over to Volts. And to Caress on the right side. To Volts. Takes it to the right side, turns around, comes back out, and when she pulled up her dribble, she dragged the pivot foot. And we have a number of substitutes going in for the Vikings. Bovey, Goodell, and Nigaman into the lineup. Bovey on the dribble. Gets it to Goodell, back out to Bovey between the circles. Over to Shipman, three-pointer from the left side, no good. Rebound, chased down by Nigaman in the corner on the right side. Tries to get it to Goodell, but it got knocked out of bounds. Libby Wagner is the last one to touch it. Goodell to inbound. She gets it into Bovey. Bovey takes it out to the top of the key. To Shipman, takes it down the left side. Turnaround jumper is good. About a 12-foot jumper by McKenna Shipman.
She has 9 points.
28-2. Caress on the dribble, takes it out between the circles. They feed it over to the right side now. This is Blazer. Tries to take it down to the baseline. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be on Nigaman. First foul on Nigaman, second team foul on the Vikings. Hilltoppers to inbound. Inbound pass stolen by Goodell. She tries to get it back, but this one's stolen by Volts, and she lays it up and in. 28-4, Vikings on top. Three-point launch by Shipman is good. 31-20 or 31-4. Vikings on top. Pass goes to Caress between the circles and over to the left side, tipped out of bounds by Wagner. It'll be the Vikings ball. Bovey with it, up across the timeline. Takes it right down into the lane, turns around, gets it out to Nigaman just outside the arc. To Bovey, thought about the three, gets it over to Goodell on the right side, takes it into the lane, lays it up, it goes in, and she drew the harm. I think they got Jenna McCarthy. It is. Fouls on McCarthy. That's the fourth team foul on the Hilltoppers. Second personal foul on McCarthy. First free throw is up, no good. So she couldn't quite turn it into a three-point play. Hilltoppers with it over on the left side. This is Wagner, gets it out to Volts. Over to Oman on the right. Oman loses the handle. Shipman stole the ball, but they're going to get Shipman with a foul in there. That'll be the third team foul. First foul on Shipman. Wagner on the dribble. Feeds it over to Oman between the circles. Takes it to the free throw line. Ball gets knocked away. And now a loose ball on the floor being fought for, and we're going to get a jump ball. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. It's Goodell outside the arc, no good on the three-pointer. Coming away with it is Wagner. She brings it through the timeline. Over to the right side to Oman. Into the lane to Davis, tried to put it up, no good. We're gonna get a foul on Hajdukovic. So that'll be the first foul on Hajdukovic. Fourth team foul on the Vikings. Isabel Davis with a shot, no good. Now she'll get her second attempt. Both teams have 4 team fouls. 4:45 to go in the first half. Second shot is good. 33-5. Down the floor comes Bovey. She's between the circles. Feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic at the left elbow, or at the right elbow. Gets it back to Bovey. Now over to Nigaman for 3. No. Rebound. Fought for underneath, and they're going to say that Goodell did steal the ball away from Davis, but stepped out of bounds in the process. So it'll be Glenwood City ball. Wagner with it. Getting it over to the left side. This is Blazer. Tries to drive toward the lane. Ball gets knocked loose. Vikings come away with it. Whoops, we're going to get a double dribble called against Bovey. So Glenwood City inbounds it. Wagner has it. Steps up between the circles, stops at the top of the key. Feeds it into the lane to Davis. Turnaround jumpers off the glass and good. 33-7. Vikings bring it down the floor. Feeding it over to the right side to Goodell. Goodell takes it into the lane, lays it up, it's good. 35-7, Vikings on top. Glenwood City feeds it down to McCarthy, who lays it up and in. Check that, that's Blazer. 35-9. Bovey with it to Shipman at the top of the key. Over to the left side to Hajdukovic. To Goodell, drives the left baseline, lays it up and in. $37-9, Vikings on top. Glenwood City has Oman with the ball, gets it over to Wagner, into the lane to Davis. Davis puts it up off the front of the iron, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. And a number of substitutions coming in. Foul was on Blazer. It's her second personal, 5th team foul. Heidoren on the dribble, coming down the floor. Feeds it over to the left side to Goodell. Back out high to Heidoren, over to Anderson. To Nigaman. Bounce pass, tried to get it to Olsen. Couldn't quite get it, and Wagner has it. And Wagner tried to get up with it, and that's a travel.
We got timeout.
And a timeout on the floor with 2:40 remaining in the first half. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
We're back here at Glenwood City High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera. Evidently, Glenwood City got the timeout call before the traveling call. So they've got the ball on the left side. Caress has it up between the circles. To Wagner on the right. To Volts. Then to Caress from the left corner, three-pointer no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. Vikings come down the floor. Anderson feeds it over to Nigaman. To Olsen from three, puts it up off the iron, no good. Rebound tipped around, it's out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. It was last touched by Wagner for the Hilltoppers. Nigaman to inbound. Gets it into Hydorn. Hydorn, Nigaman in the lane, turns around, puts it up, no. Caress feeds it over to Volts. To Wagner between the circles. Over to Volts on the right side. Down in the corner, that's Bright. Back out high to Caress, high, wide, and right. Takes it to the top of the key to Davis on the left side. Gets it out high to Wagner. At the right elbow, puts it up, no good. Rebound fought for on the floor. Loose ball picked up by Goodell. She's coming down the floor. She's going to go all the way to the hole. She does not get it to go in. Rebound. She chases down her own rebound. Gets it out to Hydorn. Her shot's a little short. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Hilltopper ball. Wagner with it. Feeding it down into the lane to Davis. Ball gets knocked around. Olsen comes away with it. She has it, gets it over to Hydorn. Hydorn slows things down. Over to Nigaman. Nigaman out between the circles. To Olsen on the left side. Out high. We're under a minute to go in the first half. Vikings going to run some clock here. To Anderson. To Olsen. To Hydorn. 38 seconds. To Goodell. To Anderson. 29 seconds. To Hydorn. To Olsen. 18 seconds. To Anderson. To Hydorn. 9 seconds. Feeding it over to Anderson. To Hydorn. To Goodell. Cross-court pass to Anderson. Launches a three. No! And we've reached halftime. With the score at half, the Vikings 37 and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 9. Coming up next, we have Viking halftime on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Kaysen Goodell. And Kaysen, you are a what? Sophomore here at Colfax High School. And Kaysen, we know that you play basketball, but are there any other activities that you're involved with here at school?
I do cross country and track.
And how'd that cross country season go for you?
It went really good. Our team made it to state, which is really huge.
That's 2 years in a row for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience has it been for you?
I started playing in around 2nd or 3rd grade, and I don't know, I've always loved it. I've always had a lot of fun. I don't know, it's been really good.
So what's the most important thing you've learned playing basketball?
Teamwork. You can't really do anything without cooperating and knowing your team.
So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that interest you or keep you active?
I go hunting a lot and fishing and just being outdoors.
Okay, I'm going to throw some rapid fire questions at you. First of all, pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
And which flavor?
Chocolate.
Oh boy, the old standby, isn't it? All right, what's your favorite color and why?
Red. Just, I don't know, because red.
School colors?
Yeah.
Okay, that works. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
To be invisible.
Oh, invisibility. Okay. So, if you have a superpower, like invisibility, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with it. What would that be?
Invisible Kaysen.
Invisible Kaysen, or No See 'Em Kaysen, or something like that. Invisible Kaysen, all right. So, do you have a favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Not really.
Don't watch a lot of that?
No, not really.
Is there a favorite college team?
Not really.
Okay. How about, is there any basketball player that kind of inspired you as you were growing up?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Of course, he inspired an awful lot of them, didn't he? Okay, we're talking with Kaysen Goodell on Viking Profile. And Kaysen, what are your plans for after high school? I know that's going to be a little while down the road, but do you have plans?
I'm thinking about going to River Falls for something in the egg business.
All right, Kaysen, how about a shout out to your family?
Hi, Mom and Dad, and Grandma and Grandpa.
All right. When people come to Viking games, what number are they going to look for if they're looking for Kaysen Goodell, and what position do you play?
I'm a guard, and my number is 4.
Okay, we want to thank Kaysen Goodell for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How was it? Is it good?
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
And welcome back to Glenwood City High School, getting ready to start the second half with the Vikings on top of the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 37-9. Dan, why don't you fill us in on how we got to that score?
Yeah, here's the scores for Glenwood City right now. They're led by number 52, Isabel Davis with 5, Aubrey Loggy Michaela Blazer with 2, and Opal Volts with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer is number 42, McKenna Chipman. She's got 12, followed by Kason Goodell with 8. We have Ainsley Olsen with 6, Molly Hydorn with 5, Jada Anderson with 4, and Jeanette Hajdukovic with 2.
And that comes out to a 37-9 lead for the Vikings as the teams are getting ready to head back out on the floor. Tell you what, over here at Glenwood City, they sent some nice young men up here to our broadcast spot with a tray full of hot dogs and wanted to know if we were interested in any. And of course, knowing that Dan and I are hot dog connoisseurs, how could we say no?
I know, they even brought the condiments with it.
They did. What a deal. All right, we're getting ready to start things off, and Glenwood City is going to have the ball to start the second half. McCarthy to inbound it, and she gets it over to Wagner. Wagner over to Blazer on the right side. Back out high to McCarthy. McCarthy from the free throw line over to Volts on the left. Back to McCarthy. Takes it to the free throw line, but it gets taken away by Shipman, who gets it over to Hydorn for the Vikings, and the Vikings bring it down the floor. Hydorn over to the left side to Shipman. To Hajdukovic in the lane, turnaround jumper, no good. Follows her shot, puts it up, it bounces around twice, no good. She chases it down, gets it out to Anderson, launches a 3, no. Rebound taken down by the Hilltoppers. That's Wagner with it, and she comes across the timeline to McCarthy on the right side. To Blazer, out high to Volts, over to McCarthy, to Blazer, they're on the right side. She drives the right baseline, puts it up, and can't get it there. Hajdukovic gets it over to Hydorn, who comes across the timeline. Hydorn stops, pivots out to Shipman, drives into the lane, feeds it down underneath to Hajdukovic, who lays it up and in. A really nice job of having the defense collapse on Shipman. She found Hajdukovic wide open underneath. McCarthy with it. Over to the right side to Blazer. Out to Volts between the circles. To McCarthy on the left. She gets it to Blazer on the left wing. Then out to McCarthy. McCarthy drives down to the left side, tries to go up. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. And the foul is going to be on Hajdukovic. They got Hajdukovic with the block. That's her first foul on the Vikings this half. McCarthy shooting 2. First one's on the way. It's good. And the second shot is on its way. It's off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Ball gets taken away by Volts. She feeds it over to Blazer. Back to Wagner on the right side. Into the lane to Davis. Turnaround jumper goes up and in. 39-12. Hilltoppers trailing. Hydorn with it. High, wide, and right. Feeds to Hajdukovic at the free throw line. Gives it to Shipman from the top, or from the top of the key. Shot's no good. Hajdukovic puts up the rebound and got fouled going back up. And the foul's on Opal Volts. I think that's her first, yes. Puts Hajdukovic to the line for two. First shot off the back of the iron, off the front of the iron, and no good. Hajdukovic's second shot is up, and that one's nothing but net. 40-12. Hilltoppers have it to McCarthy on the right side. Gets it back out high to Wagner, puts up a three. She hit a three-pointer. 40-15, Vikings on top. Hydorn with it, gets it out to Olsen, who puts up a three. She hit the three-pointer. Ainsley Olsen with a three.
She has 3 threes tonight. 9 points.
Davis with it. Over to Wagner, gets it into the lane to Blazer, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. Anderson on the dribble up across the timeline, pulls up at the free throw line, gets it to Olsen, launches a three, just missed it. Shipman with the rebound, tries to get it to Hajdukovic and couldn't control the pass and went out of bounds. So the Hilltoppers will have it. Kylie Oman into the lineup for the Hilltoppers. Wagner brings the ball across the timeline, stops between the circles, gets it over on the right side, now back out high to Oman. Oman over to Blazer, to McCarthy. Off the foot, and that's an over and back call. Pass to Wagner, went off her foot, rolled back over the timeline, and when she went over and picked it up, it was over and back. Anderson gets it in to Shipman. Shipman across the timeline. She's got it on the right side, gets it over to the left side to Hydorn, three-pointer, no good. McCarthy with the rebound. And down the floor come the Hilltoppers. McCarthy between the circles over to the left side. That's Blazer with it. Feeds it into the lane to Wagner. Turns, throws it up, does not get it. Olsen with the rebound. Gets it to Hydorn. Hydorn down the floor quickly to Shipman. Back out high to Hydorn. Over to Olsen from the right side. She launches another three. That one's off the back of the iron. No good. This is Blazer down the floor. Blazer looking for somewhere to go, is all tied up, and we get a timeout call by the Hilltoppers. So a timeout on the floor, 13:46 to go. Vikings 43, Hilltoppers 15. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
On those days when you're hankering for something that's delicious and nutritious, simply stop by FitFam Nutrition in Colfax. They serve Herbalife meal replacement shakes, metabolism-boosting teas and protein coffees. They taste as good as they sound, and they're healthy. Come and visit the Bentons and let them prepare for you a simply sweet treat, or something for the chocoholic or coffee lover in you. FitFam is a slam dunk. That's FitFam Nutrition, complete with one-on-one wellness coaching and business opportunities. 1020 University Avenue in Colfax.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Back here at Glenwood City High School, Hilltoppers inbound the ball. Vikings on top, 43-15. Blazer with it at the top of the key, gets it over to the right side. Shot goes up and no good. Ullman with that shot. Quickly down the floor is Goodell. Kason Goodell takes it back out between the circles, gets it over to Bovey. Feeding underneath to Shipman, lays it up and in. Vikings putting a lot of motion and crossing traffic, and they found Shipman in the lane, and she just turned around and put it up and in. 45-15, Vikings up by 30. Hilltoppers feed it into the lane. Wagner puts it up, rebound taken down by Goodell, and she's tied up under there, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be, yeah, it is. It's going to be on Libby Wagner. That's the second team foul on the Hilltoppers. First foul on Wagner. Shipman inbounds it to Bovey. Bovey up across the timeline. She feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic. Back out to Bovey. Bovey at the top of the key now between the circles. Looking for somewhere to go. Ball's dead, but now they feed it over to Goodell. To Hajdukovic, back out to Bovey, to Shipman on the right side. She drives to the free throw line. Turns around, feeds it to Hajdukovic from the baseline, puts it up and it goes in. From the right baseline, Jeanette Hajdukovic. 47-15. McCarthy out to Ullman, to Wagner, to Davis, down on the left side of the lane. Gets it back out towards Ullman, but it gets tapped away by Nigaman. And they're going to say Nigaman was the last one to touch it before it went out of bounds. So it'll be Glenwood City ball. Volts and Caress are into the lineup for Glenwood City. Ball comes into Wagner. They feed it over to the left side. This is Blaze, or Blaze, I think is how it's pronounced. To Davis, to the right baseline, puts the shot up, it's no good. Goodell gets the rebound. Down the floor comes Goodell, stops at the top of the key. Gets it over to Bovey. She works between the circles. To Hajdukovic at the left elbow. Underneath the Nigaman, lays it up and in. Vikings did a nice job of using the lane that time. 49-15. Wagner with it. To Volts on the left side, driving down to the left baseline, lays it up, it does not go. And Nigaman comes away with it, gets it over to Shipman, who brings it down the floor. McKenna Shipman on the dribble, feeds it down to Nigaman, back out to Shipman from three, no. Rebound by Goodell, gets it over to Hajdukovic, out to Shipman, puts up another three, no. And Davis comes away with it for the Hilltoppers. Wagner with it. Feeds it over to Volts. To Caress. And then Blaze. To Volts. To Wagner along the baseline. Her pass along the baseline is taken away by Bovey. Knocked out of her hands. They get it to Hajdukovic. And to Goodell. Goodell across the timeline on the left side. To Shipman, drives into the lane, puts it up and lays it in. McKenna Shipman racking up the points tonight. Where's she at, Dan?
She has 16.
And the Vikings come away with the ball again. Down the floor comes Bovey. Feeds it down low to Shipman. Turns around on the right side. Lays it up. It doesn't go. Goodell with the putback, and she got that to fall. 53-15, and we have a timeout on the floor. With 9:44 remaining, it's Vikings 53, Glenwood City 15, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Glenwood City High School. Vikings on top 53-15. As Chris pointed out to me, it looks like we're probably heading to running time in just a few seconds. Glenwood City feeds it down underneath. Blazer has it, gets it out to Blaze. Over to Caress. Or check that, yes, that's Caress. And they get it down into the right corner underneath, and they put it up and in. That's Michaela Blazer with that shot. So it's 53-17. Vikings have it on the right side. Nigaman with it, gets it out to Anderson. Over to Hydorn. To Goodell, launches a three, rings around a knot. And Glenwood City comes down. And the pass gets out of bounds. That was a pass from Blaze, but it got tipped by the Vikings. Blaze to inbound it. Omen into the lineup for Caress. And they get the ball into Volts on the right side. Tries to feed it down low to McCarthy. Back out to Blaze. To McCarthy. Takes it over to the left side to Omen. Ball gets tipped around. Omen gets it back. Drives towards the lane. Stops. Surrounded by Vikings. And coming away with it is Anderson. Solo flight. Lays it up and in it goes.
Jada Anderson has 6 points.
And we have a traveling call. Well, I thought 35 points with under 9 minutes to go, it would go to running time, but they stopped the clock there on that traveling call. Vikings have the ball on the left side, back over to the right side. Nigaman puts up a three. No, it doesn't go. And down the floor come the Hilltoppers. They feed it down into the right corner. Shot goes up and in. (55-19). Olsen has it on the baseline. Pass gets knocked loose, and we have a jump ball called. Vikings have the ball on this possession arrow. A lot of substitutions for the Vikings. Inbound pass intended for Bryn Sikora, who's now in there. Let's see, for the Vikings, who we have in there is Goodell. And we also have Jordan Bovey, Nigaman, and Sierra Shipman, and Bryn Sikora. Hilltoppers drive the baseline with Blazer. And whistle and a foul. Foul's on Nigaman. That's the second foul on Nigaman, second team foul on the Vikings. First shot is up and no good by Michaela Blazer. Blazer's second shot is up, and that's no good. Rebound taken down by Nigaman. Over to Goodell. Goodell across the timeline. Pulls it up between the circles. Now she has it, takes it down the lane out to Shipman. It's no good. That's Sierra Shipman with that shot. And down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Over to Blazer. Back out high to Wagner. She takes it into the lane, puts a shot up. It's no good. Ball gets tipped around, and coming away with it is Jordan Bovey. Down the floor come the Vikings. Sikora with it. She puts it up. It goes in, and draws the harm. Bryn Sikora will try to make it the three-pointer. Foul was on Emma Blaze. Oh, check that. Michaela Blazer with her third. Free throw was up and no good. Rebound gets knocked out of bounds, and we have a load of substitutes coming in for the Hilltoppers. McCarthy back in, as well as Caress. And Libby Wagner finally takes a seat. Dan, I think that's the first time she sat the whole game. Hilltoppers have it on the right side. Blazer with it. Feeds it to the free throw line to Davis. Back over to Blazer on the right side. Back out high to Davis at the top of the key. She takes it over to the right side, down to the baseline, back out to Blazer. Over to Davis. They're working it between the two of them on the right side. Now they get it out to Volts. She takes it over to the left, lost her footing, chases the ball down, and we have a traveling call being called against the Hilltoppers. Sikora to inbound it for the Vikings, gets it to Goodell. Goodell between the circles, feeds it over to Jordan Bovey. Back out high, and then back over to Jordan. Launches a long three, no good. Rebound, taken down by Shipman, and we have a whistle and a foul underneath. That's going to be a foul on Brooklyn Caress. Kind of gave her a shoulder block there. It's the fourth team foul on the Hilltoppers. Wagner back into the lineup for the Hilltoppers. That's the first foul on Caress. Shipman gets it in to Goodell. Over to Bovey. Back out high to Goodell. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound taken down by Bovey. She gets it back out to Goodell. To the free throw line. Over to Shipman. Launches a long three. No. Rebound taken down by Goodell. Goodell feeds it out toward Bovey, but the ball gets knocked away by Wagner, and Bovey chases it down. Goodell has it now on the right side, high, wide, and right. Takes it between the circles. Now they get it down into the lane to Nigama and tries to go up, and she's going to get a foul called on Davis. Oh, take that back. It's not Davis they got. It's Emma Blaze. But except Emma Blaze isn't in there. It had to be 52. Well, now they're saying 30. Yeah, 52. So it's the foul is on Davis. It's her second, 15 foul. 22's in the lineup now. That's Emma Blaze. Shot goes up by Nigaman. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Hilltoppers. Down the floor they come. They get it over on the right side. Long shot from the corner, no good. Davis with the rebound, puts it up and in. 57-21. Vikings on top. Under 5 to go. Pass intercepted by the Hilltoppers. Wagner went down hard and real slow getting up. Shot by Davis, it's no good. Rebound out of bounds. It'll be Hilltopper ball. And quickly into the lineup is Michaela Blazer to replace Wagner. McCarthy to inbound. Looking for somewhere to go. Tries to get it into Davis. Ball gets knocked around, but finally picked up by Oman. Then to Blazer on the left side. Takes it down to the baseline. Gets it back out high to Blaze. Then to McCarthy. Swinging it back around. Now over on the right side to Oman. Taking it along the baseline. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. And the foul is going to be on Bryn Sikora. That'll be her first personal. Third team foul on the Vikings. Pass comes into Blazer. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. They get it to Jordan Bovey. She puts it up and it's in. 59-21, Vikings on top. Pass intended for Davis, but it was behind her, and it's out of bounds. So it'll be Viking ball. Sikora to inbound. JC Bovey into the lineup for the Vikings. She's got the ball between the circles, feeds it over to the right side. That's Shipman, Sierra type. Jordan Bovey with the three. Jordan Bovey hit the three. 62-21, Vikings on top. McCarthy with it on the left side, still on the dribble. Takes it to the top of the key, over to Davis on the right. Jump shot no good. Rebound taken down by Goodell. Down the floor comes Goodell. Kicks it back out to Bovey, three-pointer. It's a little bit short. Rebound tipped around, taken away by Oman. Oman on the left side. Ball gets knocked out of her hands by Shipman. It's out of bounds. Caressa Volts into the lineup for the Hilltoppers. McCarthy with it on the left side. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. Fouls on Goodell. That's her first. Fourth team foul on the Vikings. Pass goes into Volts. Shot goes up, but she got fouled. Volts got fouled by Sikora, and I think that's her second. Fifth team foul on the Vikings. It is her second. So Volts at the line for two. First shot's up, been good. Now they've gone to running time. Second shot is up, and that's also good, and we're down to 2 minutes remaining. 62-23, Vikings on top. Shipman with it on the left side. Gets it to JC Bovey. Gets it out to Jordan Bovey. To Sikora. To Goodell. On the right. Over to the left side to Jordan. Over into the right corner to Sikora. Back out to JC. We're going to get a whistle. And that's a foul on Kylie Oman. Looks like they can't decide if it's running time or not, Dan. JC Bovey with it. We've got a minute and a half to go. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Hilltoppers. Volts with it. Feeds it down underneath to Blazer, and we have a whistle and a foul.
Should be on 30.
So it's a foul on Sierra Shipman. That'll be her first, 6th team foul. And the shot is up and good. The officials are trying to tell the scoreboard that it's running time to run the clock. One minute to go. Shot is up. No good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. That's Shipman with the rebound. Gets it over to Goodell. Takes it across the timeline. Over to the right side. 45 seconds to go. To Sikora. Back up to Bovey. And then Shipman with a 3. 65-24. 32 seconds remaining. Pass comes out to Blazer. She's on the right side. 17 seconds remaining over to Davis. Davis takes it down the right side of the lane. Gets it back out high. Shot coming from the left side, no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. And that's going to be the final score. The Vikings 65, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 24. The Vikings record goes to 11 wins and 2 losses. And Glenwood City Hilltoppers are 0-13 on Friday the 13th. We'll have more about today's game in Viking postgame, and that'll be coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And welcome back to Glenwood City High School. Rick Olson here, along with Dan Petchow. Chris Olson has been on the camera today as the Vikings emerge victorious tonight by a score of 65-24. Vikings record has moved to 11-2. And the Hilltoppers are 0-13. And so I guess the Friday the 13th luck is with the Vikings tonight, wouldn't you say, Dan?
Yeah, I thought Colfax did a good job moving the ball on the offense, really getting their passes down good, getting open shots, and then they hit them. And they kept Glenwood City off the boards for the most part. One and done stuff, and Isabel Davis did find her way to the hole a few times. And otherwise, yeah, just good all-around performance by Colfax.
They basically shut down the Hilltoppers, and when you do that, good things happen. And joining us right now is Viking coach Courtney Serrar, and congratulations, Coach. Pretty impressive win tonight.
Yeah, I thought, we did a lot of good things. I thought we executed well. It was a great night to work on, plays and timing, and I thought the girls played really well. I thought Jeanette defended her butt off against, the Davis girl and worked really hard to make things difficult for her.
And it was one of those nights also, I guess Friday the 13th had kind of a reverse mojo for you guys, because it seemed like most everything that you tried to work on either worked or came really close to working.
Yeah, the girls did a good job, executing and having good timing, which is good to see.
And it's going to pay off later on this season when some of those conference top runners run into you again, and hopefully you have a little different message for those girls from just to the south of Colfax, and when they come and play at your place. You had a lot of kids get into the scoring column. I think you had 10 players score tonight. Everybody got some playing time. That's going to pay off too.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime, we can get some of the kids some confidence, and overall I thought it was a great team win.
So 65-24 coming up next for you guys. You're part of a doubleheader. This is kind of a weird thing. You had weather. It was supposed to be a doubleheader, then it got moved, and then we had weather, and so it's a doubleheader again. And you're going to take on the Prairie Farm Panthers on Monday as part of a broadcast doubleheader. What do you know about the Panthers, if anything?
Yeah, they're definitely right up there with probably one of the best teams that will play this year. So they're good. They're seasoned. They've been in the sectional final game 3 years in a row. They're not scared of anything, and they can really play. So we'll have our work cut out for us.
That'd be a great one for fans to show up for. And of course, if you can't get there, make sure you watch it here. We will have it on both of our channels, NLWN-TV and NLWN-2. And tip-off for that game is at 6 o'clock. Our coverage will begin at like 5:35, I think. Well, congratulations, Coach. Safe trip back to Colfax. Thanks for joining us. 65-24, and we'll have more Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and NLWN-2 for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Monday, January 16th, when the Vikings will host the Prairie Farm Panthers as part one of a girls then boys doubleheader. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service, NLWN-TV, and NLWN-2 begins with Viking pregame at 5:35 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and NLWN-2 on Monday, January 16th.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
And we're back here at Glenwood City High School as they're vacuuming out the bleachers off to the next to us. So the Vikings come out on top, 65-24 over the Hilltoppers. Dan, tell us how we got there.
Here's the scores for the Hilltoppers tonight. They're led by number 52, Isabel Davis, with 9. We had Michaela Blazer with 5. We had Volts with 4. We had Wagner with 3. We had Oman with 2. And we had Jenna McCarthy with 1 for the Colfax Vikings. They had 10 girls with points tonight, led by number 42, McKenna Shipman. She had 16, followed by Kesa Goodell with 10. We had Ainsley Olsen with 9. We had J.D. Anderson with 6. We had Jordan Bovey with 5. We had Molly Hyde-Orton with 5. We had Sierra Shipman with 3. And we had Autumn Nigelman with 2.
So that came out to 65-24. And actually, Dan, what I liked about the Vikings scoring, it was a good mix of field goals, three-pointers, free throws, and players putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah, they ran their offense very well, even their
experimental offense.
Right, yeah. Yeah, the girls came in off the bench and still ran everything just the way it was meant to be ran, and they put points on the board.
So, coming up, we have some pretty exciting basketball on Monday. This will be a new one for us, Dan. It'll be the first network-wide broadcast of an event where every one of our network outlets is going to carry the game. Because you should join us on NLWN-TV, NLWN-2, the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and Viking TV on Monday, January 16th, as we bring you a girls then boys basketball doubleheader. The Viking girls are going to host the Prairie Farm Panthers in the first game, with Viking pregame starting at 5:35 p.m. That's followed by play-by-play coverage of Game 1. Then the Viking boys will host the Boyceville Bulldogs in Game 2. Viking pregame for that game will begin shortly after the girls' game. That's Colfax Girls then Boys basketball doubleheader Monday night. That's January 16th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, NLWN-2, and Viking TV. Hey, don't forget also that the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV are excited to once again be your home for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. Follow the Cavaliers throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also, don't forget Eau Claire has a semi-new, semi-pro football team, the Eau Claire Cowboys. They're semi-new because the Cowboys did exist before COVID hit. Then they shut down. New ownership, new team, and a new broadcast partner, and that's us on NLWN2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and we're excited to be your broadcast home. So follow the Eau Claire Cowboys throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound. Plus, they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Chris Olson on the camera, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, Vikings 65, Hilltoppers 24. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have a lawn with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2 and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball. Our next game will be on Monday, January 16th, when the Vikings play host to the Boyceville Bulldogs as part 2 of a girls then boys doubleheader. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service, NLWN-TV, and NLWN-2, begins with Viking pregame, shortly following the conclusion of the girls' game with Prairie Farm. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service, NLWN-TV, and NLWN-2 on Monday, January 16th. Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.